Okay, sorry about that. My camera died. It may seem a little smokier in here right now. I actually just applied my first hack job to the horrible hole in the floorboard. Got another one right here though. That's all rotten. And you can see that's rotten. And all that good stuff is rotten. But I still have to get that side all cleared out. When I said that there was a lot of mice nest in here, there was about 2 inches all over the floor. You can see it in the glove box. It was all back in here. Got most of it out, but like I said, the wires are still pretty fried. Something I didn't make mention of with the brakes. So I had to do the master cylinder. I had to do the pressure switch. I also had to do the brake cylinders on both front wheels because they were both absolutely shot and couldn't get any pressure. They were just leaking all out the back. Thankfully, it was just that. I didn't have to do all the pads. They were actually still in really good shape. This was a work truck, so it was used. I believe the gentleman had passed though, and it just kind of sat in the field. But that's alright. Let's see, what else have I done to this poor little guy? I did have to put all new rims and tires on it. Nothing fancy. In case you didn't know, anything 96 back for 250 with the 8 lug. It's all same lug pattern. I think it's 8 by 6.5. I also had to get a new brake pedal because one that was on there was snapped, and I decided to just go to a scrap yard, get one. And I cut the rubber out from right here because it was just crusty, and when you pushed it wouldn't pop back up. With these being floor mounts, they just hang out there. Let's see. There's my little Chicago welder. Turns out, if you buy one of these, little 125 flux wire welder, don't use the stuff it comes with. It's not good. I ended up picking up an extra roll, and it seems to work out pretty well. Actually, I ended up grinding it all and redoing the whole thing just for that reason. And I know it's raised, and that's not necessarily great. I said I'm just trying to make this good for me. I just wanted a truck, keep my hands busy, and something to just drive around, just more of a classic. The next one I'm going to be getting is it's going to be a car. But I don't know. I believe I still have the footage. I also had a 1960 F600. So that was pretty cool, but it just turned out being too much work. I would have had to put, $5 to $6 grand in it after the $2 to $3 grand that I put in it to get it on the road. And I found this, and I had to give her up. But I just replaced the tail lights, which I don't know if you could even see that. I got LEDs, so they're actually decently bright, but like I said, this thing is wired together super hokey. But for right now, like I said, this is my little project. I'm gonna try and do maybe a video a week, maybe 2 if I feel frisky, but I also have, a full-time job. Yeah, there's the big goofy mirrors that came with it. the one for the other side was really bad, stuck out like 2 feet. So I ended up just finding some mirrors at a scrapyard. They don't necessarily fit, but I'm gonna make them work. Oh yeah, see, got that. There's the actual glove box that it had. As you could see, it had mice all over it. The headliner fell. So what actually caused this, the holes in the floor, I don't know how it happens on all vehicles, but said with this one sitting for as long as it did, you can see molding is shot on it, or glazing, whatever you want to call it. It looks like they might have tried to put caulk on it. Whatever. Some of the only real downsides, it's missing the badges, which I can order those. They're like $100 a piece. Other than that, I mean, overall it's pretty decent. Like I said, the wiring is super wonky on it, which I'll continue trying to deal with that. Oh, speaking of wonky wiring, like I said, this is mine, and I can kind of just do what I want with it. I had to cut out a notch, because this came out of a 70 something. So I cut the notch out, so when it sits down in there, the hazard button will work, or have a place to sit. Thankfully, all it has is hazards, unless you pull the hazard light on, and then it does nothing. So, like I said, I'll be working on the wiring quite a bit. It has original stereo, which is cool. I have no idea if it works. I know it has rotten out speaker in here, which I'm gonna get rid of. Try and get something else in there. I'm gonna try to make sure I could have the original radio in there. It's only AM, but man, that's gonna be super cool. And the heater, I don't know, I think it's hooked up to this switch here, which is kind of goofy, but whatever. The horn, I don't know how to get it to work, but it always works when I don't want it to, because this blue wire right here that I have now tied up did come with keys, but as you can see, it's wrapped in tape to where it would hold it. Overall, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a job, and if I can find the video where I had initially done the walk around with it, you guys will see how bad it is. I was going to do, a full revival type video, but camera got broke, so I didn't want to wait, and I just said I'm real excited to have this to just cruise around in. It does have factory seat belts. I can only assume they're super gross, but they work. Let's see, my crappy looking seat cover that doesn't really fit, but I'm going to use it anyways, because it's either that or get springs in the butt, and that ain't fun. Also, you can't move around because the seat's so torn out on the driver's side, it just catches you when you try to sit on it. So yeah, I will be just kind of, we'll film some of the stuff that I'm doing. We'll try and get this going. Like I said, it does run. I've driven it around a few times. One problem, the fuel line that goes into the tank was super clogged, and talk about hokey. I got it cleared out, but it was really hard. Had probably about 1.5 inches of hard crap in there, and me being the smart dude I am, I didn't pull it and clean it. So cheers to that. I'm not going to do it now. So I do keep a little kit, and when I say kit, it's this right here, this little oil filter with this to screw on, and this to plunge it, and the little wire here to plunge it out. So if it gets clogged, just take that there hose off, or take the pipe, yeah, whatever fitting that is, I don't care. I'll plunge it with my little wire, then I'll hook this up to it, and I can put my mouth on here, blow it out, and that works. So hopefully eventually all the dirt will just go through the system to the filter. I'll have to change that. But overall, I mean, she's a rotten beast, but she's now mine. Couldn't guess the cab corners are shot, both sides. But I mean, I got a working flatbed truck. It wasn't super expensive, so a little bit more than I wanted to pay, a little bit more than it was advertised for, but I mean, you don't come across this every day, especially like the glass is in good condition. The window's down because I don't know, I have it down. But yeah, clutch works, transmission works. I've only been able to get it up to third gear because I didn't want to speed around my neighborhood and I didn't want to take it out on the interstate yet. Plus, it was so loud because, you know, the exhaust sawed off right over by the floorboard there, where there's that big hole. And yeah, once I get it, the floorboard I'll put back together. I am going to get just an exhaust pipe, go straight out towards the back. I may put a muffler on it, I'm not sure yet. Where I live, I don't need mufflers, I don't need emissions. I mean, you should always have a muffler, but it doesn't matter if I do or not. There's cars around here way louder than that. But yeah, I just need to get it put back. I can't put the muffler that I currently have right here on because it turns out too close to the PTO, which I'll actually walk over and show you. Alright. Let's see, I don't know if there's enough light under here, but we'll see. A big oil spot right there is where the PTO is, because of course it's leaking oil. And our exhaust, she sawed off right up there. I know it's hard to see, but it'll be alright. And yeah, like I said, rust all over the place. She's an old rusty broad, but it'll be alright.